I've done a lot of videos here on FluentCRM. It truly is my favorite email platform. It's my favorite way to keep track of the customers and clients that I have in my business, and I'm running it on a few different sites. One of the things that I haven't covered yet is how to create an opt-in form for people to sign up for maybe a freebie that you're giving away, a course, or any kind of offer that you have, so that you can get those folks inside of FluentCRM. And that's what we're going to take a look at today. Hi, my name is William Beam with Suburbia Press. We help people empower themselves to build their online platform. And that's part of what we're going to look at today. So let's go ahead, dive into the screen. And you can see that we've got a number of things which says getting started. There's 4 out of 5 complete. The last one we haven't done is to create a form. So FluentCRM comes built in with a light version of their sister product called Fluent Forms. And as you can see over here, I have the Pro version. Matter of fact, if you're interested, I have a 20% discount that'll be available in the description, both for FluentCRM and for Fluent Forms Pro. You use the coupon code BEAM, just like my last name, and I'll have that in the description below. But if you're interested in that, it'll save you 20%. Not a bad deal in my opinion. But let's go ahead and create a form. We're not going to go into all the Pro version. We're going to come right here from within FluentCRM, and it's going to show us the objects that you would get if you hadn't bought Fluent Forms Pro. So this is the light version. And you have an option here to create your first form. If you've already created some forms, you'll see the button over here to create a new form. So either one will work for us. And there are 3 basic templates. So you can see there is an inline opt-in form. Inline means that this is something that's going to be embedded inside of a page that you have. It's like if you're going down a blog post, then suddenly you see a form to sign in. That's what you get. Then we have a simple opt-in form, which looks to be kind of the same. There's a box there, I think, for your email list. It's just that the button is in a slightly different place. And then you've got a subscription form where you've probably got like a first name, last name, and email address. So we're going to go very simple. We're going to go with an inline opt-in form. And the first thing it wants is a title. So being the brilliant person that I am, I'm just going to call this test form 1. And then I'm going to add people to a list. So they'll go to test list, and I'm going to add some tags. So test tag. And this section down here where it says double opt-in, basically this puts them in pending until they receive an email from your system asking them to confirm that they did subscribe, they are who they are. I recommend using this. It will save you a whole lot of trouble in case somebody else comes along and puts in an email address for someone other than themselves, and then you've subscribed somebody who says, I don't know what this is. They'll mark you as spam. You'll get a bad email sender reputation. Trust me, working with the double opt-in is the way to protect your reputation. So we'll leave that checked. You notice it's there by default, and that's for a reason. And we're going to go ahead and create a form. And that's it. You can preview the form, but this little short code, this is what you're going to put inside of your web page. So let's go ahead and preview the form. And it's nothing exciting. I wish I could tell you that it was, but this is it. Here's your email address. And you've got some options over here to style it. And there are container styles. There's different little things that you can do. You can change the margins. You can change some colors and the background color if you want to. I'm not going to go through all of that right now because we could just really keep on going. But take a look through these different messages, asterisk styles. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what an asterisk style is. But if you have inline error messages, basically what you have are options here. You can change the color and typography. So for these different issues that have come up. And also after you submit the message, you can change the styling for that. We're going to go with a default style for all of these things. And I'm just going to save the settings. When we go back to our form, you'll see we have Fluent Form ID 2 over here. So when we go back to our forms over here, we can close this out. And now we should see there is test form 1. And this little button over here will allow us to copy it. So we'll just go ahead and click that. We'll copy that shortcode. So now what do? We go to a page or a post, depending on where you want to put it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to create a new page just for this form. And let's get rid of that. We'll give it a title. And then we'll come down here. The only thing we need to do is choose a shortcode. Since it's not right there, we'll just go ahead and type in short. And there it is. So you select that from the Gutenberg editor. and you put your short code right in there. And that's really all you need to do just to have the form show up. So we're going to go ahead and click, let's start with preview. And we'll preview in a new tab. And there it is. So we can add an email address right there. Let's just make one up here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hit subscribe. And please check your inbox. So let's go back over to, we're going to publish this page. And just to make sure that it's there so I don't lose the thing, we'll go back to our FluentCRM and we'll look at our contacts. So this is the email I put in. Notice I don't have a first name because the form I created just has the email address, and you can see that it's in pending status. So let me open up my email. This is what someone's going to receive. It's basically, you can kind of update this message a little bit, but basically confirm my subscription. So I'm going to go ahead and click yes, subscribe me to the mailing list, and then the user will get this message, subscription confirmed. So let me close that down. We're going to come back over here to our contacts. I'm going to refresh this. So notice that it's in pending right now. And now the account is subscribed. Basically, that's what I meant by the double opt-in. So they've opted in one time when they fill in the email address on the form. And then when they click that confirmation button, that's the second time. That's the double opt-in. So you know that the person who submitted that email address, it gets sent to them and then they confirm it. That's the person that gets subscribed. Otherwise, if you just go straight to subscribe, then somebody has the chance to put in false email addresses, maybe as a prank on you or a prank on somebody else. And that, like I said, can ruin your reputation. Now, that's pretty simple for creating forms. As I mentioned, we come over here. Let's say we create a new form and we'll choose this one. We'll just give it the clever name of test form 2. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add them to the same list, the same tag. And we're going to leave the double opt-in. We create the form. So now let's go ahead and edit the form. And you can see we have first name, last name, but we've got something different over here. You notice all these fields. I imagine a lot of these are probably coming up because I've got the pro version, but let's say that you don't want to have the last name in there. If you click on this field, you'll see there are check boxes: first name, middle name, last name. In my case, all I really want is somebody's first name. So I just uncheck that. And here I've got first name and last name. All right, when we click down here on email, notice this little red asterisk. This is a required field. You can see here where it says required, yes or no. We click over here on the name. We don't get that same option. It doesn't let me ask if it's required. Personally, I wish it did. I'd like to have that as a required field because I like to call people by their first name, but not everybody wants to share all that information. But you can't do business with an email system if you don't have an email address. So obviously the email is a required field. And then of course you've got your subscribe button down here. You can change that. You can make it an image. You can change the text, the size, you can center it, and there's a number of options. So we're going to go ahead and leave this as it is, and we will save the form. And there it is, copied to the clipboard. So if we can go back and find my page, let's go ahead and add this down here. We're going to go ahead and use the short code and put this right here. So let's update this. And we'll click on View Page. So now you can see we've got two competing forms here, and it's probably a little bit confusing. So here we have first name and email address, and over here I think we've got two of them. We've got email address twice. But this is kind of what I would be looking for, is the first name and email address. So that way, when you come back and look at your contacts, you can see I don't have a name field over here. I prefer having names, so that's just a matter of your own preference. I can tell you that I've read different studies that the less information you ask for, the more likely someone is to put in their information. So if you just want to ask for email address and people put that in, you can ignore their first name. You don't have to call everybody by their first name, and they're more likely probably to put in just an email address, which is ultimately what you want. I take the extra step. I ask for first name. To me, it's a friendly thing. And I also kind of come with a different perspective. I think if somebody doesn't want to put in their first name, then how likely are they to want information that I'm going to be sharing with them? So again, it's your own preference. But that is a quick look at how to build a form and embed it on a page inside of FluentCRM using the basic version of Fluent Forms. This is not a pop-up type of system. So it's not like other things where you've got something that slides in from the side or pops up on the page as somebody's leaving. This is embedded inside of a page, so you can see the shortcodes. Now, you can embed those in some other kind of form. If you've got another tool that does a pop-up for you, you can embed these shortcodes in there. But keep in mind, this is a form building tool. And I'll take a quick look over here. If we look at the Pro version and we say add a new form, there are over 70 templates. So you've got your contact form. For example, on your contact page, this is just what you need. Conversational forms are a wonderful thing. If you've ever been to something where it just takes over the whole screen and asks you one question at a time or gives you an option for one input at a time, that's what this does. It kind of guides people step by step through the process of whatever you need to ask them. So there are newsletter forms, support, and on down, but you can see that there are different types for products, for education, for marketing, nonprofit, IT, finance, HR, social, and it just keeps on going. There's a long list of forms. And then, of course, you can build anything you want. Fluent Forms Pro is a great form builder. I left Gravity Forms, which I really did like, but I think Fluent Forms Pro is better. And when you consider that and the integration with FluentCRM, it just made a really good choice for me. So I wanted to show you a little bit of what's possible there. We'll go into other videos on Fluent Forms Pro itself. But as I said, I've got a 20% discount on each of these products, FluentCRM and Fluent Forms Pro. And I'll have that in the description below. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please go ahead, click the like button, subscribe, and toggle that little bell notification icon. You'll get notified the next time I put out another video. We'll see you in the next video.